Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and in these indie comic reviews I'll be covering Assassin's Apprentice Volume 3, Issue 4 and King's Spawn Issue 43. I'll now get things ready and prepared for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, because it connects to the character of this princess, to which Fitz has also been introduced to. And I give the cover a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, but also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we hear a lot of the thoughts that are going through Fitz's head, and what's happening in this journey and what's taking place within the lands that he has been traveling to, as well as where he's meant to be going. As the story advances, we do eventually catch up with Fitz again, who has had an encounter whilst being with the princess, and in a way it's sort of like royal bullying of sorts, even though he himself is actually related to royalty, which you learn in the first volume of the series. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we get to see Fitz at the end of this issue and what's happening with his journey, and he wishes that his mentor was there with him to help him get through this situation, but he learns that he has to go through the situation on his own. So for the internal art, I give a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. First things first, did we get anything in relation to time? Well, I thought we did at the beginning, only to realize that it was actually a person's name and not the actual time itself, or the time or month that it's taking place. And that was a bit of a bummer, so in that it has actually lost some points with me, and I'm wondering if I might want to start to drop the series. So the next area is the location, to which in the locations we get to hear about. We have Buck River, we have the Pharaoh's Wide, the Blue Lake, we also had the Blue Mountains brought up as well, the Wilds, Jahampi, and also Burik. The cast of characters within the story, we had Regal, Ruziek, August, Fitz, the main character, who we're following this journey with, Princess Ketriken, and last but not least, a mention of Chade, who is the mentor of Fitz. For the overall story rating, I give it a 6 out of 10. Now it's time to move into King's Spawn. So as we start to move into King's Spawn, issue 43, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Yes, it does. To which we get to see Spawn himself start to show why he does earn the title within the Spawn universe of King's Spawn. To which I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, but also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we get a bit of a flashback in relation to the character known as Agent Lynch. And we know that Agent Lynch also has a bit of a connection to the character of Spawn, Al Simmons, because of his interactions with him in the past. And we learn a little bit about Agent Lynch's past, to which he was actually accused of murder of some friends that, well, he wanted a case solved, and he was accused of the murder, only to later on to sort of like become an agent and try to work out who was actually responsible. We then move into a couple of new scenes as we have the character of the Wraith, or someone connected to the Wraith that is going around and has also played a part in the murdering of children. And of course, we see that there's a connection between the Wraith, Andy Miller, and also Lynch. So we have a new victim in regards to a case that involves murdered children. And of course, we have Spawn and the other agents trying to look out for the character. And no doubt, Spawn goes full big boss in this story, as in, don't mess with this guy or this kid. Like, really well done. And if I were to say one thing, the art has definitely picked up in the story, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story itself. So first things first, did we get any comic book references? Sure enough, we did, to the previous issue, so to issue 42. The times that were, next is the area of time, to which we had later, the night before, and also the present day. The location, we don't quite learn the locations of where some of the things take place, though it wouldn't have hurt to have seen it in the story. Next is the cast of characters, to which we have Spawn himself, Al Simmons, we had Agent Lynch, we had Andy Wheeler, who's sort of like the new child victim of an event that he witnessed, and they're doing the best they can to actually protect or keep the child in protective custody. And last but not least, we learn of the character of the Wraith and what he is doing in this universe and terrorizing children. For this, I give the story a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colorful and have yourself an awesome day.